la razón. Hay que estar un poco loco para vivir en Nueva York.
Those who like music ask me to turn up the volume. I say to them, it's Spanish, but they say, I know, louder. For a lot of gringos, it brings back memories. They talk about the 50s, the machito years, El Son, the cha-cha-cha, the mambo. For them, it's a memory.
More than a music, more than a dance, in New York, salsa is an art of living and surviving by swinging the hips and snapping the fingers. It's a philosophy, a virtue, a rebellion, as well as a product of American industry. For Henry Fiol, son of Puerto Rican immigrants, salsa paints the raw images of the hardships and struggle faced by the Latin community trapped in the metropolis.
My name is Henry Fiol. I was born in New York in the borough of Manhattan, where dog eats dog and for a peso you're dead.
Nací en Nueva York, en el condado de Manhattan. Yo nací en Nueva York, en el condado de Manhattan, donde perro come perro y por un peso te matan. La rutina, pena me da. El truquito, hasta pena me da. La maroma, pena me da. Ay, bendito. Habla, Choco. Hasta pena me da. La rutina, pena me da. El truquito, hasta pena me da. La maroma, pena me da. Ay, bendito. cantazo, llegará el cantazo, espera el cantazo, que ya viene el cantazo, que se oigan el grito, que venga el grito.
¿Sabe cuando una música está encendida?
When a music is hot, people always say they're cooking, and the sauce is what gives food its flavor. That's why when a band really gets going, we say it has sauce. So I started using this definition for the music that has this flavor, this spark, this Latin soul. It needed a name like rock, jazz, rhythm and blues, rap. It already had several nicknames like ranchera, bolero and Afro-Caribbean. We needed a definition for this New York music created by Puerto Ricans who were using Cuban styles. These are the sons of immigrants who produced this spark using brass, jazz, trumpets, trombones and clave rhythms.
Salsa.
Salsa is the only music that has this fire which compels everyone to dance. It doesn't matter who, whether one is Colombian, Peruvian, Dominican, Cuban or Puerto Rican. It's a music which, despite the years, remains firmly established, and I think it will last. It's the rhythm combined with the melody and harmony of salsa that brings the dancer onto the floor as soon as he hears it. This is the reason why it has endured so long and is going to continue.
Salsa is a genuine Latin music which has allowed New York's uprooted communities to proudly claim both their language and their culture. Today, salsa's Spanish lineage is so strong that some artists now let themselves perform in English in order to attract New York's younger generations.
Cuban music had a big impact on American music in the beginning. If you listen to the bass line in Cuban music,
La demostración es, lo voy a hacer con la boca. Esa era una línea que se usaba casi.
you realize that it's a lot like rumba.
Que se usaba en la rumba. Ahí, lo único que hicieron fue que
Only a bit slower.
Pero eso es parte de esa música.
And it's part of this music.
Se tocan en rock.
In rock, there's the same tempo. As well as in bossa nova.
Todo tiene clave. Mucha de la música del jazz.
Jazz has also shared this relationship with Latin music.
Ha tenido cierta relación con la música latina. El ejemplo más grande
The
de
most
eso,
famous example is Caravan.
Es un disco, un éxito mío.
It's in the barrio and Spanish Harlem, in the squats, slums and vacant lots, that salsa first took root. Later, invading the Bronx and Queens on the wave of emigration, it has permeated the entire city with a Latin flavor.
Here on 110th Street, we are in the heart of the Latin barrio. The best musicians have lived here. Arsenio Rodriguez, who lived near 5th Avenue, one day heard a siren and composed his successful "There's a Fire on 23rd Avenue." Everything happened right here. Music is the culture of Cubans and Puerto Ricans. This music is called salsa, but is it tomato sauce, cream sauce? What kind of sauce is it? Salsa has a different style, one which voices the message of the people, a message of protest and love. It's got swing, and it's danced to in a particular way. It has pachanga, charanga, son montuno, guaguanco. It has all these different kinds of music. The people are 20 to 25 years old and were born here in the United States. They need this music in order to find their roots.
The summer of 1971 saw the birth of a prominent chronicle in the history of salsa. Our Latin Thing was in fact the first and perhaps the only successful gathering of New York's best musicians. This one evening would leave us with an album and, more importantly, an unforgettable film we have found.
I was the first musician to sign with Fania. The years have passed, and Fania has since signed Willie Colon, Ray Barreto, Pacheco, Roberto Rowena, and other big artists. Jerry then formed a group with all of the stars of Fania, with a singer and a musician from each band. We played at this famous club on 52nd in Manhattan called El Chita, and this night was unforgettable. The band played for the first time with an incredible strength. It vibrated because people were looking for a way to identify with the music. There was a mixture of salsa with Afro-Cuban rhythms and New York jazz. And that night was the peak. The group played more than more, you know, and thus continued the story of Fania. Fania is a group of artists and musicians from different labels. The concept came from Jerry Masucci and Johnny Pacheco. They simply observed what was happening in our world of Caribbean music, and they chose the best elements from each group.
firmar por 3 años o el tiempo que
They
fuese,
offered them a 3-year
para
contract to
grabar
record their album on the Fania label.
personalmente cada cual su disco en Fania.
Quítate tú pa' ponerme yo. Quítate tú. Quítate tú pa' ponerme yo. Quítate tú. Para que bailen los pollos, para que gocen, sí señor. No me importa lo que digan, porque yo soy tiburón. Quítate tú pa' ponerme yo. Quítate tú. Quítate tú pa' ponerme yo. Quítate tú. Por este Roberto y Rey, ahora vienen acabando con la Fania, ahora están. Adalberto está inspirando. Quítate tú pa' ponerme yo. Quítate tú. Quítate tú pa' ponerme yo. Quítate tú. Con este ritmo sabroso, con besa tanto, yo lo pongo a vacilar. La voz de Magayuel, como artista de la Fania, yo lo pongo a gozar, bebé. Quítate tú pa' ponerme yo. Quítate tú. Quítate tú pa' ponerme yo. Quítate tú. No dejes para mañana lo que se puede hacer hoy. Ahí nada más. Que no dejes para mañana lo que se puede hacer hoy. Porque si no lo hace ahora, abre paso, Molina, que vengo acabando, mira, porque yo soy el que soy. Quítate tú para ponerme yo. Quítate tú. Quítate tú pa' ponerme yo. Quítate tú.
Bueno, Masucci, una persona con una mente muy adelantada.
Jerry
tanto al
Masucci,
nivel,
a man with a very perceptive artistic and commercial mind,
especialmente comercial, vio que había una aceptación
realized that our music could be successful
en
internationally.
fronteras, en diferentes países, y él pensó que haciendo una historia
He imagined a story that would be focused on music,
con música siendo el centro de ello, pero era como una biografía
but also serve as a kind of biography of certain musicians and their daily life.
y plasmarlo en una película que aparentemente mostraba un argumento también.
He prepared the production of a film with a theme intended to make musicians and their Latin American life better known.
Parte de lo que nuestra vida latinoamericana es.
I think it was a big success,
Un gran triunfo.
one of the first stones in the history of this music.
Piedra en esto de la música.
Quítate tú. Quítate tú. Quítate tú. Quítate tú. Quítate tú.
Salsa has definitely played the role of a counterculture. Without it, the success of rock music in Latin America would have completely submerged our continent from Alaska to Tierra del Fuego. Salsa has acted as a kind of barrier against the invasion of rock music in our countries. The Cuban Revolution put a hold on the exportation of music. Before, Cuba was sending its music out to the rest of the world. And when the embargo was declared, Cuba found itself isolated from the rest of the Americas and especially from the United States. This created an enormous void in the Caribbean and especially in New York. It's then that other kinds of music were substituted for Cuban music. The last Cuban creations to have a certain amount of success in New York were charanga and finally boogaloo. But Latinos needed a music that was capable of offering an identity and uniting them. This is how salsa was born.
Cuba, qué lindo son, un paisaje, Cuba, qué
During the Cuban Independence Day celebration, El Son and the old rumba come rolling down the streets of Manhattan. It's the occasion for Cubans to loudly claim that they inspired the creation of salsa. Born of their music, it bears the mark of its origins.
This is Carlos Armando Gomez, the godfather of Alfredo Subanaba. And today they and we, the percussionists, are paying tribute to Yemanja.
The Cuban wave landed with its food and its drums, but also with its beliefs, tinted with voodoo and black magic, that on some evenings shake the basements of the Bronx. In New York, the Latin quarters live with the rhythms of the immigrant communities that populate them. Salsa is a truly social and cultural phenomenon and has become the common denominator. In summer, the burning streets of the barrio, where 3 million Puerto Ricans live crowded together, pulse to the bomba and plena rhythms of their island. For the Dominicans, they prefer to cruise Broadway near 190th Street at the wheel of their powerful cars, which vibrate to the beat of merengue, a music whose style has greatly influenced their salsa.
For me, salsa is simply a mixture of different Latin rhythms, whose success has been guaranteed over the years by its commercialization. Salsa for me is definitely the son montuno that I have known for 30 years.
Cuando una pasión te ciega, aunque
I had the occasion to write a number of compositions of social content, and I have a lot of sympathy for people who suffer. I think it's a way to express the aspirations and needs of our people for a better future.
Yo siempre sé por dónde vienes, yo te conozco, camaleón. Lo que te está volviendo loco es que tú has visto poco a poco que tu maldad.
Ok, bueno, cómo no. Gracias a todos ustedes por venir. Estamos frente del edificio de la SBS, la Spanish Broadcasting System, el show Salsa con Polito en la calle, pero no se escuchó el aplauso.
Despójate, despójate, boca, despójate, despójate.
There is a new evolution underway, where young people are re-identifying with salsa. There are currently One, for example, is Tito Nieves' recording in English. This is to attract the younger generation, which has drifted away from Latin culture and music. The same thing that happened at the time of the Boogaloo Blues is starting again. Another important thing is that the radio celebrity Polito Vegas really pushes salsa. The old salsa, with its musicians and original singers. And people are crazy for it, simply because there are a lot of young people listening to salsa for the first time. For them, it's new.
La salsa número 1 de Puerto Rico, lo mejor que hay.
¿La salsa en inglés qué?
Bueno,
es bonita.
Es el mismo sentir.
El mismo sentir.
Es el mismo dulce con diferentes palitos.
Exactamente.
Yo nací aquí, mis padres me mudaron.
I was born here. My parents took me to Puerto Rico when I was 4 years old, and I lived there in the Latin world. To be Latin is to be more patriotic, more sentimental. We love stronger. We are more explicit, not like the Anglo-Saxon. He might know you today and not tomorrow.
What is the language of the Puerto Rican?
Spanish, and long live Spanish. When we speak it, we are proud. Those who speak English, or more specifically the Anglo-Saxon, can't express the same thing as we can in Spanish. He can say it in English, but we express it more deeply. Because our roots run deeper, our culture is more spiritual, more intense.
es el pan nuestro de cada día.
It's our daily
O sea,
bread.
nos levantamos y
We
lo
wake
oímos,
up in the
y
morning,
el Espíritu
we
nos
listen
dice,
to it, and come
"Tomamos
alive.
ese tren para el trabajo con esa sangre nueva".
And we take the work
Y
train
cada
with a
vez que
new
estamos
blood.
tristes, oímos ese mensaje.
Each time we are
Ese
sad,
mensaje, lo
we listen to
oímos,
this
ese mensaje,
message
y
and we
escuchamos
hear
lo que
our
escuchamos.
Lord.
O sea, eso es como un mandamiento.
It's like a
Entonces,
commandment,
cada vez
and each
mejor.
time it's
O sea,
stronger.
lo llevaron a crucificar,
They
o sea,
crucified
y
him,
no
and we
podemos
just
dejarnos
can't forget
nosotros
it.
caer, o sea, que nos levantamos
You have to
de
escape the
ese
system.
sistema. Es un mensaje que
It's a
nos llega al
message
alma,
that
y al
reaches
espíritu
our
nos hace
soul, that fills our spirit and gives us courage.
It's in the melting pot of New York that salsa has perhaps achieved the dream of General Bolivar, to unite under a single banner in the heart of a single culture and with a single passion, people as different as Colombians, Puerto Ricans and Cubans.
Are we going or what?
Loco por los parques y las bicicletas, loco por los bailes mi negra y por las orquestas, loco por las canchillas de jugar pelota, loco por la salsa que mi gente toca.
Hay que estar un poco loco para vivir en Nueva York. Así dicen por la radio y también por televisión. Porque en la manzana grande nadie tiene la razón. Hay que estar un poco loco para vivir en Nueva York.
Loco por el barrio y las regioneras, loco por las bandas y las batuteras, loco por la nieve y la factoría, loco por los cines, mi negra y la pizzería.
Hay que estar un poco loco para vivir en Nueva York.
Déjate de cuento, hermano, que loco tú vives aquí en New York.
Hay que estar un poco loco para vivir en Nueva York.
Con tantas canchas de pelota, con tantas cosas que pasan, la gente rebota.
Hay que estar un poco loco para vivir en Nueva York.
Loco, mi hermano, como me tienes.
Hay que estar un poco loco, muy loco.
Todos pierden la razón.
Hay que estar un poco loco, muy loco. 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 Hay que estar un poco loco, muy loco.
Si te metes en eso, güey,
Hay que estar un poco loco, muy loco.
donde quiera ir
Hay que
revolución.
estar un poco loco, muy loco.
En New York,
Hay que
caballero.
estar un poco